Close your eyes. Do it. All right, you can open them. I just want to see if you do that. Everyone else is doing it. I felt like I'd give it a shout too. All right, so the idea of stand-up comedy is essentially it's a play. Essentially, like, you know, it's a play, except it's just a one-man play, and sometimes it's a little funny. I'm not saying it's not funny plays. You understand where I'm coming from with that. It is. It's kind of like there's just one man, and sometimes he's telling jokes, or it's a woman, but most of the time it's a man. He's either telling jokes or he's not. Most of the time he is. So, how it's helped me is growing up with autism, I could not socialize at all, for the life of me. It was meeting new people, talking to people, eye contact, big groups, speaking in groups, and here we are. I grew up, I watched stand-up comedy, and I didn't watch all the appropriate stuff, and that's how I ended up how I am today. Really, really messed up. If you've ever talked to me, you'll know. A lot of the jokes I had planned for today were kind of cut because they weren't very appropriate, so my bad on that. I recently just did stand-up comedy in Portland, and I bombed hard. It was, all right. I'm kind of glad none of you showed up, because, and that sounds terrible, but I don't think you guys understand. It was awful. So, that's how it's helped me. There's different styles of stand-up comedy. You can go off like what you see in the news. Like one of my favorite jokes is from a guy named Chris Porter. And he had a joke where a couple years back, people from America went to Afghanistan, no, it was Iraq, on vacation. I didn't know you could do that, all right? So they went to Iraq on vacation, and they crossed the Iraq-Iranian border and were arrested. And the country of Iraq had to give the country of Iran $1.5 million on the U.S.'s behalf, just to get 3 large, stupid people back, all right? So you can go off what's in the news. You can go off what's in your personal life. Like, I'll never forget when I was diagnosed with autism, because I didn't entirely know what it was. I was like 7 years old, and my mom had sat me down, and basically what she said was, she's like, you have autism. And I was like, cool, I'm 7, I don't know what that means. So we just kind of went on with our day from that. And then as I grew up, I kind of learned more about it and what it was and why I acted the way I did. So that always helped me socialize. I remember going to the counselor, because that's how you get diagnosed. They don't just like write you on paper, and I keep a card in my wallet. Like, that was it's my autism card. Just hand that to people. You know, people always, like I said before, people always assume you have to look a specific way when you have autism. Like, there's an autism section at the Baby Gap. It's like, oh, where'd you get that? It was 20% off in the autism section at Gap. I can see some of you are uncomfortable. It's okay to laugh at this. That's why I'm making the jokes. Just the look of uncomfort covering this room right now. Is it okay to laugh at that? It's okay to laugh at it. So that's just how stand-up comedy's helped in my life. And I feel like it can help, because it's a way of getting your word out without being censored. Because in today's media, you're censored a lot with what you can say, with sponsors and everything else. But with stand-up comedy, you're not sponsored by anything. You can just stand on a stage and say what you think, and sometimes people will laugh at it. And that's really what I want to do with my life. You know, when I get to college, I just want to start going to open mics and just go to open mics and bomb. You know, that's all I really want to do. And maybe I'll say something funny, and if I say something funny, I'll roll with it. So that's really all I got planned. Thank you.
All right.